Windy Arbor here. I'm making a video about my Spiderwort or wandering Jew. It's been a while since I made a video, but I have a few new plants that I'm ready to showcase now. One being that fiddle leaf fig in the back there. I took a cutting on that a few years ago. I think I'll make a video on that. But today I've got this Spiderwort that I started with 3 cuttings. I just stuck them directly in the dirt, and this is the result. It took about 6 months, and it was pretty easy to grow. But once I put them in the dirt, I had to make sure to be cautious on the water. This plant grows really fine, thin, glass-like roots, and you can easily rot them away with root rot. So don't kill this one with love and watch the water. You can stick it in water in a glass to root it, like you do with a lot of other cuttings, but it's totally unnecessary with this plant. You can just stick it directly in the dirt and it'll perform for you, no problem. The light requirements are pretty basic. This is in a nice south-facing window, and the leaves will tell you if there's too much light. So you get this nice purple-green coloration on the leaves, and that means that the light's pretty good. If you have too much purple on them, that means you're giving it too much light, and if it's just totally washed out with green, that means you're not giving it enough light. So a south-facing window is pretty good for these, and it's also going to stretch a little bit like this if you don't give it enough light. I was away for about a week and had all the windows closed on this plant, so that's why you see a little stretching on the growth. But basically the takeaway is this plant's going to tell you when it doesn't have enough light on coloration or if it's stretching. So you'll want to rotate it pretty well because it grows really fast, and you'll get it stretching towards the light, and you'll get one side of a big bush. So make sure you keep rotating it, and that'll keep it nice and full for you. It will get leggy as the plant ages. I just grew this one recently, so you can see it's pretty full at the top. But as it ages, you'll get no leaves at the top, and you'll just have a bunch of growth on the bottom. So when that happens, you can either just cut it completely towards the top, and it'll put out new growth for you and a nice bush again. Or you can just take the tips of the leaves and just start a whole new plant. This grows so fast, that's probably the route I would take. The next thing, I guess you can get a few spider mites on this. It has pretty dense leaf coverage, or maybe even some mealybugs. So if you do notice any pests on this plant, just take it and run it under cold water. Or maybe if you have a rainy day and you can just bring it outside, just put it out there. Spider mites like really dry, not windy, just calm places. Perfect for houseplants, but if you want to get rid of them, just run them under cold water 2 or 3 times a day, and those will be gone in about 3 days. But you got to make sure you're totally soaking the plant. You got to take it really seriously if you do get them, because they'll spread all over your house. And you'll see it drop all of its leaves, and it'll just be no good. So that's pretty much all the takeaways. I do give this fertilizer a few times, maybe a year, maybe every 4 months. I give it fish emulsion. A pretty balanced fertilizer, pretty heavy on nitrogen actually, but otherwise pretty balanced. So this thing is awesome. I love the coloration on the leaves, purple and green. You'll see it a lot of times in just mixed baskets with 1 or 2 vines coming out, or very small hanging baskets. But you can make this into a centerpiece of your entire plant collection pretty easily. It grows pretty big. It takes a little bit of like TLC to keep it trimmed and looking nice. But for beginners, this plant is awesome. You can't really find much of an easier plant that looks fantastic for a beginner. So thanks for watching, Windy Arbor. I'll be checking in again soon. If you have any asks or recommendations for my channel, I love to hear feedback. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.